up. He's saying right now, look, Michael, you can match me, but then again, remember, I'm the point guard on this team, and I'm going to execute at the other end.
Foul is on McHale. Here's Tom Chambers. He's in there along with David Robinson. Our first look at David Robinson, the sensational rookie from the San Antonio Spurs. There is Robinson, who has exceeded everyone's expectations so far and leading the Spurs to first place in the Midwest Division. Chris Mullin is also in there. Chambers teamed with Kevin Johnson, his teammate with the Phoenix Suns in the backcourt with Clyde Drexler. Dominique Wilkins and McHale are the forwards for the East. Parrish the center. Reggie Miller in his first All-Star game, and Joe Dumars in the backcourt. Miller fires a three. Great outside shooter, and the rebound is by Chris Mullin. Drexler lost his footing. Didn't matter. And David Robinson, one of the quickest centers to come along in a long time.
He's just so smooth, and he has the ability to hang and split the defenses and create something, and he makes it look easy.
Dumars sandwiched by Chambers and Kevin Johnson. McHale. I heard the foul all the way over here. Alley-oop doesn't go to David Robinson.
Are you auditioning for Earl Strom's number for next year? Is that what you're doing?
I want to try 33 years like he did. East by 4. They've got the ball. Dominique. And he scores. Dominique, the slam dunk champion, gets his first basket. Here's Chambers. Goes by Reggie Miller. Chambers was the MVP back in '87. He wasn't even on the original roster. He was a late pick, became the hero. Kevin Johnson and Mullin, 2 on 1 now, and Parrish commits the foul with 3:16 to go in the opening period.
You can't tell me that Chuck Daly is worried. Is he worried right now?
You know, I mean, as a coach, you want to win. I remember when Pat Riley lost, 4 times. He couldn't win, and they say, Pat, when are you going to win as an all-star coach? And I think it got under his skin a little bit because so successful in the playoffs, couldn't win as an all-star, and has won 3 games. All of them, by the way, in domes. He's won at Seattle, Indianapolis, and Houston. He's never won in an arena like this. Just starting, we're in the first period. The East leads the West, the 40th annual NBA All-Star Game from Miami Arena. With 4 successful expansion entries in the league. Joe Dumars hits the three-point basket.
Joe Dumars just does what has to be done. You know what I mean? He just eases around, does the defense, gets some boards, makes the passes, hits the open shots.
And right now, overplayed Chambers and caused a turnover there.
The early defense, Dick, has really been spectacular today.
People don't expect to see that kind of defense in a game like this. Well, we're a little past the halfway point in this season, and let's maybe take a look and see the most improved teams in the NBA. San Antonio, 19 games better than a year ago. Indiana doing extremely well. How about the LA Clippers with all of their injuries? And Portland right behind the Lakers. But San Antonio has been the talk of the league. David Robinson, of course, the top man. And people wonder, how can a team go from 21 wins to what they have right now, which is 32?
Well, two great rookies, and David Robinson, who is a superstar, along with Sean Elliott. But then you add in a trade a Maurice Cheeks and then also a Terry Cummings, and you have instant leadership and major point production. And then, let's face it, one of the best coaches in basketball, Larry Brown.
Yeah, last year was his first losing year as well. Wilkins defended well. I think Drexler and David Robinson in there.
Yes, well, Drexler came out of the mezzanine to get that one.
David Robinson with a circus move, and it's going to be the East possession. The East leads in the series 25-14. And there is bragging rights and there's pride involved between the two conferences, as you have in the finals. McHale. Kevin McHale. 6-man again. Remember, he was the top 6-man and became a starter. Now he's coming off the bench to good success in Boston. Winding down to 2 minutes to go in the opening period. Drexler is left open. The glide misses from out there, and David Robinson knocks it away, and still in possession of the East. But you saw some Robinson quickness and some Parrish experience running the floor at the other end.
I love what Parrish says. This game means a lot to me because I don't see too many left.
Yeah, he's got to appreciate every one of them. David Robinson, foul going to the hoop.
Watch David Robinson on the baseline now go for the steal and the tap. Mullins, if an opportunity, the catch was there, you had the nice shot opportunity, possibility.
There's David Robinson's very proud parents watching things. You know, even Don Nelson, they tell me, has been known to whisper the name Russell, talking about David Robinson, a left-hander. A lot of similarities with quickness and shot blocking abilities. No one has ever even whispered that name, but Don Nelson has, I understand, out of Golden State.
Well, an awful lot of people thought that he would be a scorer. They thought that he could rebound, but the shot blocking and the quickness of foot have really surprised and opened the eyes of many people.
Foul is on Kevin Johnson. So, talk about a rookie like Robinson and mention of Bill Russell in any way, shape, or form. That says a lot. Team fouls are 4 apiece right now. Minute and a half remaining in the opening period. The East leads by 9.
I really am impressed with the defense and the aggressiveness of the players today.
Parrish, great pass from Dumars, tipped in by McHale. But you know, you say you're impressed by the defense. When you have a Dumars and people like that on the floor, you're going to see outstanding defense. David Robinson double teamed inside. Chambers. And on the break, the other way, Dominique.
That was a replay from last night.
What won it for him.
That's right.
Drexler. Little finger roll action and the rebound by McHale. Under a minute to go in the first period. Dumars inside. Thread the needle so beautifully to Robert Parrish you wouldn't believe.
That was on the money with some pizzazz.
You're right, complete player. Defense, passing. Now he scores a lot more. Thrown away by Kevin Johnson, and with 36 seconds remaining in the first quarter, the East has opened up a 13-point lead. West has turned it over 8 times in this quarter. 18 on the shot clock. Here's Reggie Miller. And the first Indiana Pacer since Don Busey and Billy Knight were on the All-Star team 13 years ago.
One of the best pure shooters we have in all of basketball today. Not only the three-point shot, but we're talking all-around game and an outstanding foul shoot. Outstanding.
9 on the shot clock, differential of about a second and a half, maybe 2. Now it's 4, they're running down. Chambers fouled, and it's going to be Reggie Miller with a foul, and they had 2 seconds on the shot clock. Downtown Freddie Brown. He knew how to shoot the threes even before they had the threes in this sport, huh?
Listen, Freddie would have a number of records if the three-point shot was in when he was playing. Freddie was one of the very few guys in this league who could catch a pass going towards the sideline out of bounds, turn in midair, and hit nothing but the bottom of the net. And he wouldn't do it one time a game. It might happen 5 or 6.
Exciting player. West has missed 6 of 9 free throws thus far. Combine that with the turnovers, and now you see why they're losing by 15. Now it's a 14-point game. 4.6 seconds to go in the first quarter. Wilkins gets the shot off and hits the three-pointer with 1/10 of a second left, and you know you can't score in 1/10.
By the way, was that a set play?
All right, we had an exciting first period, and the East has rolled out to a 40-23 lead, but it's just the beginning of an exciting all-star afternoon here on CBS.
CBS Sports coverage of the 40th NBA All-Star Game is sponsored by Jeep and Eagle, official vehicles of the NBA. Allstate, for home, auto, life, and business insurance. You're in good hands with Allstate. And by the American Express card. Membership has its privileges.
Welcome to the All-Star Game as we start the second period with the East leading the West 40-23, and we have already had a bushel of spectacular plays.
Let's appreciate some nice passing. Here's Parrish picking out Dominique, running after a field goal was made. Beautiful look. Now we want to follow this up by watch the quickness and the rope type of a chest pass by Dumars to Parrish. There it is. And when you give it up and make the play, it's nice to get one back in return.
These are the only All-Stars who have been in this game at age 36 or more, and it's a small group, just 6 players, and Robert Parrish is one of them. We start the second quarter. The East finished on an 18-4 run to take their 17-point lead. Dominique Wilkins brings the ball up. He's got Joe Dumars with him, Reggie Miller, Kevin McHale, and Robert Parrish, the same 5 that finished for the East in the first quarter. Coming on the screen, Dumars.
This group that's on the floor for the East right now, they're knocking down every open jump shot and making it look easy.
Rolando Blockman has come in for the West All-Stars. He was a late addition when Karl Malone came up lame. There's Blockman in the corner, and he remembers what happened with Chambers, a late addition. You can be an MVP as an 11th hour guy.
Like he said, have suitcase, can pack the sneakers very easy. He said he was thrilled to be added to this team.
Parrish takes Robinson out of his shoes. Well, he's 36 years old, and David will learn that.
Yeah, but that looked like Robert of old. This is the shot right there for the offensive rebound.
Now let's see Robinson on the other end. Okay, there's some quickness inside against Parrish. Averaging 23 plus, nearly 12 rebounds with Robinson. Kevin McHale, and that's the new thing for Kevin McHale.
That's absolutely right. It's amazing. He's almost taking 1 or 2 a ball game now and making them.
Slapped away. That's the 9th turnover against the West. Whoever thought we'd ever see Kevin McHale as a long-range bomber?
Well, they say you change your game as you get older, boys.
Wilkins around the screen. Kevin Johnson feeds Chambers, his teammate in Phoenix, and he lays it in.
This guy is one of the best ever in the game. Tommy Chambers, off the dribble. You have a tendency to forget that he is 6'10". He handles the ball so well with either hand.
8 points. He's the leading scorer in the game right now, Tom Chambers. McHale. Chambers won't let him get a 3 off.
Look at Chief. Chief said, I'm doing this myself.
And the basket counts and a foul. I'll tell you, David Robinson did everything he could to move the Chief out, and the Chief got it there. Sky Walker, last year's slam dunk champion of the New York Knicks.
The Patton Robert Parrish fadeaway, but watch the arc on this shot.
Today's game is being broadcast live nationwide.
It's like he wants to play in a few more of these.
Every Sunday on CBS Sports.
Jerry West, a true legend, exhibited the classy two-way style seen in few guards. Joe Dumars is one who brings West out of his seat.
I admire Joe Dumars. I think he is one of the really, truly great guards that we have in the league who gets no credit. And the understated part of his game is his total game. Defensively, he's tremendous. He's the one guy in the league, when I watch Detroit play Chicago, he's the one guy in the league who Michael Jordan looks like he's not going to run completely wild against. He does things the way basketball players should do.
You know, Joe Dumars' dad has been ill, was intensive care, and he's out, and of course we wish him well. Their two are very close. He gave him his championship ring to Joe, and he said, when I made the All-Star team, my dad said, I'm real proud, son. How's your puppy? He's got a new dog at home. He says, all I had to hear is, real proud, son. That's all I needed. That's Joe Dumars.
Well, the fellow that just admired his athletic talent, Jerry West, being one of the greatest ever, is one of the harshest critics that we have of players today. And when he throws out flowery words like that, you know that you are one of the best in this game.
Lafayette Lever of the Denver Nuggets, number 11, has come into the game. Here's David Robinson, and the rebound by Rodman. We have Scottie Pippen and Dennis Rodman. And now we have Olajuwon from Blackman to score. So the East with some substitutions. Isaiah Thomas back in the game. He's got Pippen, Rodman, Parrish, and Dominique Wilkins. Pippen playing the guard position. Wilkins slices his way in. Tipped up. Rodman very nearly made a great play, but the basket anyway to Parrish, who's in double figures.
Yeah, but that exemplifies Rodman. He creates so many little things that are not in the final statistics.
Blackman going to the basket, will get it, and will draw the foul.
Now watch as this shot goes up. See Rodman, he's coming from behind the backboard, keeps the ball alive, allows Parrish to get the basket.
And speaking of Parrish, he sits down, having scored 10 points and 2 rebounds and a block. Patrick Ewing back in. He was the starter for the East today. Rolando Blackman on the line. Oh, down in Miami, and you know, many of the Dolphins are going to be here, including their outstanding quarterback, Dan Marino. Just under 9 minutes remaining in the first half. Dick Stockton and Hubie Brown here at Miami Arena, 51-34. Give and go from Ewing to Scottie Pippen.
You have to admire the East. They're doing an excellent job. It just isn't one pass and a shot. They're distributing the ball beautifully, making the extra pass.
Knocked away by Ewing, and Thomas couldn't control. You know, even though this game right now is a wide margin game, you were telling me earlier you have a different feeling from last year, which was a blowout to this, right?
Well, we're seeing the exciting play. The guys are making shots, but the defense is right up there challenging everything. And you can feel the intensity level. The people here are in this game and appreciating the defense.
Elijah Wan gets it. Rodman wouldn't let Rodman get the shot off. It's tipped up and in, however. Let's see who gets credit for that basket. It'll be David Robinson. Dennis Rodman could set a history. If a guy ever wins an MVP for his defensive play, that'll be a first in this All-Star.
Well, he's the only second-round draft choice in this game and the only NAIA player in this game.
Good point. They produced some outstanding players. Mullen gets it ahead of Wilkins. Notice how he used his body to keep Wilkins at bay.
Well, that's been 2 moves to the basket by Chris on the break, and he's played the rim beautifully. He's run the defensive guy right off.
Well, that's something Dennis Rodman that wasn't in the script, was it?
All right, in the locker room, we were kidding him before the game. We wanted him to take a 3-point shot. We told him no passing today. Every time you touch it, shoot it, so the people have no idea who you are. Here we have Rodman now with the guy with the quick feet. Look at him smacking around. There he is, moving and grooving. You'd think this was a major playoff game.
One of only 4 non-starters ever to make the All-Star game. Kevin McHale, John Havlicek, and Bobby Jones, the other 3. Michael Jordan has come in for the East. James Worthy for the West. Robinson banging bodies inside. Slapped away, and here's Michael.
Rodman had a charge that time. You know, for a lot of people that say, what's Rodman doing in this game? He was picked unanimously by the coaches.
Pippen missing a 3 from the corner. So they do appreciate defense and offensive rebounding. Lafayette Lieber hits the basket. Lieber, by the way, who always deserves to be in a game like this, failed to finish in the top 10 of Western guards in the fans' voting, but the coaches do.
Oh, let's say this young man. Here he is. He's averaging over 8 rebounds a game, and he's a 6'2" guard at most.
Jordan trying for the steal. Here's Elijah Wan baseline against Pippen. Slapped away by Ewing.
No place to go. Here we have a real battle. Rodman and Robinson. Watch this. Oh, get him out of there. But where was the charge call?
We'll send him to the break for that.
Yeah.
Back in Miami at the 40th All-Star game, you know, the only All-Star who's missing here today is Karl Malone, the Utah star who sprained his right ankle last Thursday. I spoke with Karl a couple of hours ago, and he said that he's getting treatment for his right ankle twice a day. They've taken off the soft cast and replaced it with an air cast. He said that he wasn't sure if he were going to watch the game because it might make him a little sentimental, but he said his pregame pick for MVP is David Robinson with a sentimental pick for John Stockton.
All right, Leslie, I just hope that was a 3-minute call. You know, when you call out in Utah, the tolls could be pretty high out there. You know, there was a lot of controversy over that. No one argues that Karl Malone's the best power forward. But Pat Riley had the feeling that maybe A.C. Green got shortchanged in this whole thing.
Well, naturally, he has a very big feeling for A.C. Green. People kind of forget that he was on his second-team all-defensive team. Plus, he's one of the best rebounders in this game.
Olajuwon goes in and will have a foul. In fact, Pat Riley said, he says, I hope that AC Green wins the MVP award, and I'm going to do everything I can that he does.
Well, when you win as many championships as the Lakers, you have to have intangible people, the guys that do all the dirty work, the rebounders, the defensive people up front, the guys who get all the loose balls. So he has a very, very warm feeling for AC Green, and he does not like to have people taking shots at him. Now, we all know Karl Malone, number one, best forward in basketball today, by the players, by the fans, by coaches, by everyone.
And you know, the other thing is, what's wrong with having a guy who never expected to be an all-star, works hard, has the great work ethic as AC Green does, and gets the reward. Jordan. Dave Thomas changed hands, and AC Green gets the block on the play. Filling the lane, he's got Lever and Worthy. Pippen seemed to have position, but you know it's the All-Star game, so we're not going to overdo it with the foul.
And Rodman came in from the right side of the lane, skied, and gets this block. Now watch him, Pippen looking for the charge, but watch the block. Here he comes.
Jordan tips it out. As far as the personal fouls are concerned, no one on the West has as many as 2. Kevin McHale is the only player in the game with 2 personal fouls.
Because of the short periods of time that the players play in an all-star game, the game is played in peaks and valleys.
Lever gets credit for a 2-point hoop. Leading scorer, Robert Parrish, is 10 for the East. Chambers leads with 8 for the West. Ewing has it blocked by Olajuwon, and Rolando Blackman comes back with the jump shot. It's 55-45. They've cut the lead down to 10. It was 20 for the East.
Is Rolando Blackman making a statement that maybe he should have been voted into this game?
You remember the game he was in when he hit those great free throws in Seattle? Now an offensive foul called. It'll be with Patrick Ewing. So now the West has a chance to come back and make more of a game of this, although it's been really an exciting end-to-end affair with, as you pointed out, great defensive plays.
We are having an outstanding matchup, Patrick Ewing and Olajuwon. This is their second time out on the floor, and they've already come up with 2 beautiful plays.
Blackman try to get it into Worthy. Jordan saves, loses. And Worthy couldn't hit the shot inside. It might have cut it to 8. Oh, that's Jordan to Rodman. That ought to make every highlight film tonight.
Well, as Rodman was motioning to the people in the stands, AC Green jumps out of bounds. You'll see the score just pass. Here comes Rodman. There's the dunk. Rodman is showing to the fans. AC Green is trying to make a pass, and we have a forced turnover there.
4:40 remaining in the first half. Lever down the middle, Pippen the rebound. Chicago Bulls. In your face, Scottie Pippen, the first teammate of Michael Jordan ever to make an all-star team. Worthy. Ewing. West has had a chance to cut it to 8 points with a couple of plays inside. And Jordan travels. How about Scottie on this move?
This is Pippen at his best. He's
Magic
one
Johnson, Larry Bird,
of the
Charles
greats
Barkley,
in the game
Richard
today that
Mille.
we have in elevating and dunking. Oh,
Ray Floyd, the great golfer, and the man who invented elevating and dunking.
Dr. J and Bob Pettit, the only 2 guys ever to start in 11 straight all-star games.
Ewing comes out to East Green. Lever, short for the 3. Green can't control it. Let me ask you a quiz here.
East ball.
Who's the only East player who has not scored in the game?
Are we going to have prizes? All right, I'm going to say the guy that everyone picked as one of the greatest players ever in the game, ever played the game, Larry Bird.
That's right. Isn't that something? He hasn't scored yet. John Stockton comes back in the game, replacing Laviette Lever. So Stockton feels well enough to move along. He had the virus and flu. He's in the hospital earlier in the week. Spent most of this weekend in his hotel room. He didn't want to miss the game. Being blocked by Ewing.
Tell me this isn't a battle.
Third block by Ewing, and it's still going to be the West ball. And you know, there's a little personal battle going on. Olajuwon has been the kingpin in center. Now Ewing, people talking about MVP award for Patrick. Olajuwon can't take that sitting down.
Well, Olajuwon is saying, I have been the first team All-NBA center 3 straight years.
Rick Barry, who perhaps had the greatest floor game from the forward position, admires the things Larry Bird does and says their games are not unlike each other.
In watching Larry play, I feel there are some definite similarities between us. Probably the passing aspect and understanding the game and being able to maximize the skills and abilities that you have. He's a team player, and I believe that Larry has proven that you don't have to have all of those incredibly gifted skills of some of these great natural athletes who play the game and still be able to be the greatest player who played the game in that position during your time.
The interesting statement there is we're talking about 2 players who are noted for scoring first. And here we have Larry. You'll see that he's just a shade off in his shooting percentage, and it's really bothering him. But he's averaging almost 9 assists a game while he's scoring 22 points this year.
So he'll do it some way. Olajuwon misses the rebound by Isaiah Thomas with 3:15 to go in the first half.
Well, the great ones, the legends in the game, when their game is off, they make other contributions.
Green defending Barkley. Olajuwon got his hand in there. Barkley said, I'm going to go up with it. And they're going to have a jump ball between Barkley and Akeem. The chief guru of the Los Angeles Raiders. Who knows where they'll be? Oakland. Al Davis. And behind him, hello again, everybody. Howard Cosell, speaking of sports. He's got the best seat in the house here.
Right center court, right in the middle. Looking good.
With his lovely wife, Emmy. Magic Johnson posting up Michael Jordan here. Magic has 9 to lead the West scorers. There's the hook shot. And Olajuwon is fouled by Ewing from behind. I asked Magic yesterday when he was practicing the hook shot. I said, you ever hit a big hook shot in a big game? He says, you must be thinking of the bald guy. I said, no, I mean you. And of course, he didn't want to talk about the big game against the Boston Celtics in the NBA Finals back in '86, Game 4. Remember the baby hook?
As long as Magic is on the move coming into the lane, it's amazing the high percentage that he knocks down that hook. It's more difficult when you're in a standing position and trying to do it from a post-up spot.
How about how the Lakers are doing without the ball guy, Kareem?
Yeah, well, they've shifted, made a little emphasis on posting up a fellow by the name of Erwin Johnson, and also going to that guy Worthy, the quiet assassin, a little bit more.
That's right. Here's Charles Barkley, an assassin in his own right. 61-46 to score, less than 2.5 to play in the opening first half. Chambers, rebound by Michael Jordan. 20-point lead by the East was cut to 10. Now it's 16. Jordan knew he was going to be short with it. Barkley from Jordan.
At the end of an all-star game, you want the other players to appreciate your all-around ability in passing.
Coming right back.